Colorado High School Activities Association basketball is on B106 and B106.com. Tonight for the Digger Dome and Brush, it's a Morgan County doubleheader as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Brush Bee Diggers. I'm John Beltran with Jen Goodall, as we'll have the boys game coming up first. These two teams met on December the 20th in Fort Morgan, the final game of the month of December for both teams, and the Mustangs improved to 7-2, defeating the Bee Diggers 56-47, which was Brush's only loss in the month of December. Now Fort Morgan's lost 2 consecutive games, and they're sitting at 10-4 on the year. Both were conference losses to Fort Lupton and Elizabeth on Friday and Saturday, back-to-back days. And the Bee Diggers sitting at 6-4 with back-to-back conference wins against University and Strasburg. Starting lineups tonight brought to you by Blodorn Lumber at blodornlumber.com. You can browse the virtual showroom, view the current sales, complete a credit application, and shop the entire inventory online. Blodorn Lumber in Fort Morgan at 130 State Street. In the backcourt, Tony Zwedzig and Tate Kemble, the freshman for Fort Morgan. And in the front court, Joey Schneider, along with Wes Anderson and Eric Kemble. For the Bee Diggers in the backcourt, they will go with the point guard, Jeffrey Dunker, a senior, along with Randy Baker. In the front court, our senior Jake Brown, along with junior Kyle Rosenbrock. And the fifth member of the starting lineup, Bryce Needens. The Bee Diggers are coached by Ken Garcia. The head coach of the Mustangs is Chad Unrein. Bee Diggers dressed in their home whites, and the Mustangs in their road blacks. We'll have the girls' game coming up after this game, more than likely at about 7 o'clock. And many thought that when Brush lost that first game of the season against Fort Morgan, it would stay with them for the remainder of the season, but they've had other games to think about because, like Fort Morgan, both teams have 4 losses. The difference is that the Mustangs have 10 wins, as opposed to Brush with 6, but the Bee Diggers only have a 19-game regular season schedule. And then you can tack on the Patriot League tournament, and the Mustangs, with a 23-game regular season schedule with no tournament. Opening tip brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. Wes Anderson will jump for Fort Morgan. Kyle Rosenbrock for Brush. The Bee Diggers shot just 28% in that 56-47 loss in Fort Morgan. And we know that Tony Zwedzig hit some huge first-half threes for Fort Morgan. And the opening tip is controlled by Kyle Rosenbrock, but he bats it out of bounds. So Fort Morgan will have the basketball, and Zwedzig to throw it in. Jen, looks like we're going to get a man-to-man defense implemented by the Bee Diggers to start the game.
Yep, it looks like that is going to happen.
Eric Kemble on the outside right at the top for Wes Anderson, guarded by Rosenbrock. Gets a pick on the high right for Zwedzig against Dunker. Bounce pass down low to Schneider. Straight away Anderson in the lane, and his shot is blocked by Brown, but there was body contact, and Wes Anderson will step to the stripe, and the foul was committed by Kyle Rosenbrock. And Wes Anderson, the left-handed senior, to shoot 2.
Oh no, they're saying it's on the floor.
Wow. Jen, looked like he was clearly going up to me. Eric Kemble to throw it in. And Anderson was at the line on the outside right, inside to Tate. Kemble puts it up short, and the ball is volleyballed into the hands of Wes Anderson. And then stolen by Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock lays it up and too strong. And then we got a whistle and a foul from behind on the Bee Diggers. And that is on Bryce Needens.
Also looks like we're going to get a press from the Bee Diggers.
I think Rosenbrock was going so fast that he didn't slow his hand motion down. Anderson in the backcourt. Over to Tate Kemble, crosses the timeline at the top against Randy Baker on the outside right. Here's Eric Kemble at the free throw line. Back out to Zwedzig. On the outside left to Tate Kemble. Bounce pass down low for Schneider. Now to Tate Kemble, left corner. Then he traveled. That's the second turnover already against the Mustangs. 42 seconds into the game. It'll be Bee Digger basketball along the side, and Bryce Needens to throw it in. Here comes Jeffrey Dunker for Brush. In the left corner for Brown. Brown was open for a second, dribbles to his right at the top for Rosenbrock. On the outside left to Needens, fakes the three, dribbles to his left baseline, 10-foot pull-up is up and around, and it got the roll, but no. And the rebound is controlled by Eric Kimball. Long baseball pass to Anderson. It's off his hands, out of bounds. And when you're the visiting team, Jen, the one thing you've got to prevent is turnovers, and the Mustangs have 3 in the first minute and 6 seconds.
Well, what worked for the Mustangs the last time, if my memory serves correctly, is that they were doing a little dribble drive and then kicking it out. So I look to see that from them again this game.
Brown with the basketball on the outside left to the lane. He's cut off over there, has to kick it back out to Needens. Needens at the top, right baseline for Rosenbrock, down low for Dunker in the lane, dribbles, turns, shoots, and he misses the shot. And another rebound there for Eric Kimball. That's his second. Into the front court is Kimball at the top. 16-footer straight away is off to the left. And the ball is tipped into the hands of Schneider. Reverse layup up and in for Joey Schneider. The Mustangs 2, the Beatdiggers nothing. Dunker, right baseline pass for Brown. Brown back out to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock with the basketball. Free throw line for Dunker. In the lane, scoops it down low. The ball's intercepted by Eric Kimball. Aaron pass by Jeffrey Dunker. Here comes Eric Kimball, front court on the outside right. Zwedzig, 3 in the air is no good, and the ball is knocked out of bounds. It should be off of Schneider. Oh, they're going to say it's off of Baker, and Baker questions that as well. And it was clearly, from this vantage point, off of Schneider, but it's going to be Mustang basketball. Zwedzig to throw it in to the right of the basket. Zwedzig looking. Back out to Eric Kimball on the high left. Against Needens, dribbles into the lane, spins, turns, back out to Zwedzig. Cross court to Tate Kimball. Ball knocked away, but he picks it back up. On the high left is Eric Kimball. Bounce pass down low for Schneider. He's double teamed. Back out to Zwedzig, straight away for Anderson. On the outside right for Tate Kimball against Randy Baker, right of the lane. Right corner to Kimball, steps to his left. Zwedzig fakes the 3, steps in, back out to Tate Kimball. 5:38 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan leads Brush 2-0. Schneider to his left, hands it off to Zwedzig. On the high right to Eric Kimball against Needens. Dribbles to his right all the way. Scoops it up off the glass and in for Eric Kimball. And the Mustangs now lead 4-0. Dunker across the timeline for Brush. Right side to Baker. Penetrates right of the lane and then had a shot blocked, but he was fouled. Little bit of the wrist caught there by Eric Kimball. And Randy Baker to shoot 2.
Number 33, Eric Kimball is first. On the line for the Diggers, number 24.
The Beatdiggers won the other night. 69-38 over the Strasburg Indians. Fort Morgan lost to Elizabeth on Saturday, 76-64. Both were road games, and the Baker free throw is in. Stop, shop, and save on all your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. The Brush Grocery Card. You can also pay your public service bill and access Western Union. Brush Grocery Card, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. Out is Jake Brown. In is Austin Garcia. Second free throw for Baker is in the air, and that's perfect as well. And the Mustang lead is down to 2, 4-2 with 5:15 to go in the opening quarter. Here's Zwedzig into the front court on the outside right. It's T.J. Bauer into the game. Now to Eric Kimball. Steps to his right. Dribbles into the lane. Scoops it up off the glass and a little bit too strong. Austin Garcia has the rebound for Brush on the outlet to Dunker into the front court. Dunker, baseball pass, left corner for Baker. Fakes the 3. Penetrates left baseline. Pulls up a little bit too strong. Rosenbrock's got it. He was fouled on the rebound by Wes Anderson. Rosenbrock never had full control because Anderson wouldn't allow him to have it. Garcia to throw it in. With 4:56 to go in the opening quarter, Garcia, right corner for Cranston, who's into the game. To Baker, he'll take the 3. Good for Randy Baker! He hits the trifecta, and the Brush now leads 5-4. 4:46 to go in the first. Zwedzig on the outside right. Cross-court pass to Bauer, dribbles to his left. Gets a pick, looked like a moving pick, then takes a 3, and it's an air ball. Rosenbrock has it for Brush. Rosenbrock across the timeline on the outside left with the basketball. Rosenbrock bounced past to Cranston. Had nobody behind him. He goes up and had it partially blocked, knocked out of bounds by Dunker. Cranston thought there was a defender right there. If not, he could have easily scored for Brush.
Well, and what was different about that defense, they kind of had 4 high inside the lane for Fort Morgan Mustangs instead of usually they leave 1 down low, but they got sucked up to the top.
Bauer on the outside right with the basketball. Now near the top to Zwedzig. 5-4 Brush. 4:16 to go in the first. Schneider in the left corner. Dribbles into the lane. Cross-court pass to Bauer. Right corner. He'll take the 3, and it's no good. And Rosenbrock has the rebound. Long pass to the wide-open Baker. He lays it up and in. Baker has all 7 points for the Beatdiggers. And Brush is now on a 7-0 run. They lead 7-4. Zwedzig hands it off to Bauer. 3:55 to go first quarter. Anderson on the high right with a basketball against Rosenbrock. Picks up the dribble. Cross-court pass to Bauer against Cranston at the top for Anderson. Anderson down low for Eric Kimball. In the left corner, Bauer takes the 3, and it's short. And Randy Baker has the rebound for the Beatdiggers. Baker into the front court. Had the ball stripped from behind, then he traveled as he picked it back up. And Brush commits their second turnover. And into the game is Tate Kimball. He was out briefly in favor of T.J. Bauer. And Rosenbrock is out. Jacob Nichols comes into the game. With 3:35 to go, first quarter. Brush 7, Fort Morgan 4 on the outside right. Anderson behind the three-point line. Down low for Eric Kimball. In the lane. Turns, shoots. In, out, and in for Eric Kimball. He's got 4 points in the game. The Beet Digger lead is down to 1 at 7-6 with 3:20 to go. Outside right, Cranston won't take the three, although he's open. Bounce pass down low for Dunker. Dunker in the lane. Lean shoots, and the shot is blocked by Joey Schneider, but a foul. And the foul committed by Schneider. And Jeffrey Dunker to shoot 2. For your next mixer or Peter Truck purchase, compare the MMI design, craftsmanship, and service. MMI International. Call them at 842-5161. MMI International is the first free throw is in. Henry Weimer checks in for Joey Schneider. So Fort Morgan's going a little bit bigger now with the Twin Towers. Weimer and Anderson. Second free throw for Dunker is up, and that is in and out. And Weimer has the strong two-handed rebound for the Mustangs, trailing 8-6. Tate Campbell into the front court of the outside right over to Anderson. He'll take the three. Good for Wes Anderson. He nails the triple. And the Mustangs now have the lead at 9-8. Dunker on the outside left with 2:57 to go, opening quarter. Over to Cranston, dribbling to his left, gets a pick from Dunker. Cranston left corner is going to have to back it out somewhere. Bounce pass down low for Nichols. Nichols threw it away right into the hands of Eric Kimball. Kimball with one to beat in Baker, and then he traveled. He hesitated and walked. 4th turnover for the Mustangs. The Beet Diggers have 3. And a 30-second timeout called by head coach Ken Garcia. The Beet Diggers brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance, Home Auto, Life, and Health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call at 842-4555. So it's been a game of runs so far. 4-0 for Fort Morgan, 7-0 for Brush. And since then, the Mustangs on a mini 5-1 run.
Well, the nice thing about both of these teams, they actually person-to-person match up pretty well. We have some height on both sides. We have some quickness on both sides. We have shooters from both areas, outside and in, on both sides.
And right now, the shooting is pretty equivalent. Both teams have a three-pointer. 4 field goals for the Mustangs and 2 for the Beet Diggers, who are 3 out of 4 from the line. And to throw it in will be Trey Cranston. Over to Baker. Baker to Cranston, who crosses the timeline. On the outside right to Garcia. Garcia at the top for Nichols, looking down low. Dunker's covered, left corner for Baker. Dribbles to his right, left of the lane, all the way. Scoops it up and in, and a foul. They're going to count it. It was not continuation. He was fouled as he was going up. The basket counts, and the foul's on Henry Weimer.
And that's a shot that Randy Baker's taking, and he didn't get that to fall into the hoop when Brush was playing Fort Morgan the first time.
Baker free throws in the air and good. And Baker had a huge night. He had 20 points on Friday in the 69-38 victory over Strasburg. And he has got 10 points in the opening quarter. Campbell lost the basketball, but scoops it over to Weimer. Jump pass is thrown in the backcourt. And that's going to be a violation as Eric Campbell chases it down. Turnover number 5 for Fort Morgan. And Brush to throw it in with Trey Cranston. 11-9 Beet Diggers with 2:16 to go in the first. Dunker into the front court on the outside left for Baker. Dribbles left of the lane. Spins. Fades. It cannot shoot. Over to Nichols on the outside right. Cranston. Cranston guarded by Anderson. Dribbles to his left at the free throw line. Bounce pass to Nichols. Lays it up and in. That was gorgeous passing by the Beet Diggers as Nichols scored. 13-9 Brush. Here comes Tate Campbell the other way at the top. On the outside left is Swedzik. Swedzik dribbling to his right. Spinning on Garcia. And had the ball stripped by Dunker. Here comes Dunker the other way with one to beat. Bounce pass over to Austin Garcia. Banks and misses. And the ball is volleyball around. And there's a foul. I think Garcia fouled from behind going for the rebound. It should be Fort Morgan basketball. That is an Austin Garcia foul. That'll be his first. And it'll be Fort Morgan ball. Swedzik to throw it into the backcourt. Anderson is out. Schneider's back in for Fort Morgan. Capacity crowd here in Brush, as we also had in Fort Morgan on December the 20th. Campbell on the outside right to Swedzik, guarded by Garcia. Dribbles near the top, outside left, wide open. Campbell takes the shot, and it's around, no good for Tate Campbell. Jacob Nichols has the rebound for Brush. On the outlet pass to Austin Garcia, 1:26 to go, opening quarter. Baker, right baseline, 12-foot pull-up. It's going to be well short. Dunker tries to tip the rebound to himself. He tips it to Nichols instead. Nichols to Dunker on the right baseline as the Beat Diggers reset. Nichols has the basketball. Over to Dunker. Dunker with one to beat. Puts it up off the glass and no good. And the rebound is controlled by Joey Schneider, his second. On the outlet to Zwedzig. 1:05 to go in the first. Beat Diggers up by 4. Zwedzig spinning at the top on the outside right. Wide open Eric Kimball. 3. Good for Eric Kimball. He now has 7 points in the opening quarter. And the Mustangs are to within 1. It's 13-12. Garcia the other way for Brush on the high right against Zwedzig. Picks up the dribble. Looking. Spinning. On the right baseline to Nichols. Knocked away by Weimer. Nichols picks it up. Back out to Garcia. Garcia penetrates right baseline underneath the basket, and then he just dribbled the ball out of bounds. That was a bewildering play of your Garcia. He had no room there and ended up running out of room as Tola Walio comes into the game for Fort Morgan with 41 seconds to go. Here in the opening quarter, and Brush up by 1. Tate Kimball the other way. Gets a pick from Eric Kimball, dribbling to his right, hands it off to Walio behind the three-point line. Bounce pass, right baseline for Schneider. Cross-court bounce pass, Eric Kimball had his shot blocked. Walio picks it up, and then Baker takes it away. Here comes Baker for the Beat Diggers. Baker all the way, puts it up off the glass. It's too strong, and the ball is out of bounds. And is it going to go over to, see if it goes over to the Beat Diggers. Not sure. It looked like it went off of Schneider. Then they were pointing like it was going to Fort Morgan. It should be Brush's basketball with 18.2 seconds to go. Garcia to throw it in. Bounce pass to Nichols. Nichols double team traveled. Well, the game's a little bit sloppy here in the first quarter. Fort Morgan with 6 turnovers and Brush with 5.
Well, and I think Brush is staying in the man-to-man, and Fort Morgan has gone to a 2-3 zone.
Tate Kimball across the timeline with 10 seconds to go in the first. At the top of the basketball, guarded by Cranston. Crossover dribble, right in the lane. Tries to scoop it up, and he's fouled as he went up for a shot. And the foul was committed by Cranston. So with 5.4 seconds to go, Kimball can give the Mustangs the lead. The freshman bends, shoots, connects. We're deadlocked at 13. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan and Brush. Equitable savings and loan with financial solutions for you. Second free throws in the air, and that's perfect for Tate Kimball. Here's Garcia with 3 seconds to go at midcourt with 2 into the front court. Pulls up for a long 3. In! Off the glass! I don't think he called it, but it doesn't matter. It's a triple for Austin Garcia. We have played 1 quarter in Brush. The score, Brush 16. Fort Morgan 14 on B106 and B106.com. Brush 16, Fort Morgan 14 as we head to the second quarter in Brush. John Beltran with Jen Goodall. Brush basketball as Needens throws it into Jeffrey Dunker out there with Austin Garcia, Kyle Rosenbrock, and Bryce Needens. Rosenbrock down low for Needens. Lost the basketball, got it back. Left corner, Rosenbrock, 3 in the air. Is off the back of the rim. And the rebound is controlled by Tate Kimball. And his outlet pass off the hand of Eric Kimball, but he chases it down in the lane, scoops it up off the glass, and in, and a foul on the Beat Diggers. A foul on Austin Garcia. And the game is tied at 16. Eric Kimball now has 9 points in the game. Garcia commits his second. So here is Eric Kimball to shoot 1. And the free throw is up, and the junior connects. Kimball now with 10. The Mustang lead is at 17-16. Dunker outside left to Garcia. Dribbles to his right. Down low for Needens. Needens walks. 6 turnover for Brush, matching Fort Morgan's total. The first meeting was a 56-47 Fort Morgan victory as the Mustangs pulled away in the fourth. It was tied all the way. Schneider with the basketball. Outside right for Eric Kimball. In the lane, had the ball stripped away. Picks it back up at the top of the key. On the outside left is Zwedzig. Left corner for Anderson. Cross court for Tate Kimball against Garcia. Dribbles to his right. Backs it out to Eric Kimball. Kimball on the high right to Zwedzig. A little spin move against Garcia. Now to Anderson. Double teamed. Anderson swings it right side to Schneider. At the top for Zwedzig. On the outside left for Tate Kimball. Guarded by Dunker. Dribbles to his right. Strip from behind. Ball is loose but taken by Eric Kimball. 15-foot pull-up is around and no good. Austin Garcia has the Brush rebound. That's his second. Garcia across the timeline at the top against Tony Zwedzig. On the outside right to Jake Brown. Brown looking, dribbling to his left. Cross court to Garcia. Garcia guarded by Zwedzik. Dribbles to his right, crossover dribble right of the lane, into the lane, scoops it up, and he's fouled by Wes Anderson as he misses. Anderson with a second foul. Austin Garcia will go to the line to shoot a deuce. Willow Coffee, Tea and Smoothies, and G Sweets Bakery offers cookies, muffins, and sweetbreads made fresh daily. Pair with your favorite coffees, lattes, or smoothie flavors in your set. Open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturday 7 until 4. That's Willow Coffee, Tea and Smoothies, and G Sweets Bakery, 921 Edison Street in Brush. The game is tied at 17 as the first free throw is good. Anderson is out with those 2 fouls, and Henry Weimer, who has 1 foul, is into the game. Second free throw for Garcia is in the air, and that is well short. Pulled the string on that one. Weimer has the rebound, and then we've got a foul in the backcourt. One of those senseless fouls about 80 feet away from the basket. That was committed by Jake Brown. That's going to be the 16th foul. The Mustangs have 5. And Randy Baker back into the game, and he'll check in for Jake Brown. Backcourt pressure to throw it in is Schneider over to Kemble. Kemble met by Dunker. Behind the back dribble. Runs into Baker, lost the basketball, and then we have an over and back.
And that was a great job of Baker doing what is called a run and jump. So you just try to make it so that you force someone to turn by the defender that's originally on a player, and you have the other person waiting on the backside for that exact happening of a steal.
Here's Nadens with a basketball at the top against Schneider. Dribbles to his left. Bounce pass to Dunker straight away. Dunker, free throw line. Baker, 15-footers off to the right. And the long rebound is controlled by Tony Zwedzik. Zwedzik on the outlet to Schneider. Into the front court on the outside right. Dribbles right side against Baker. Now to his left to Eric Kemble. Down low for Schneider. Turns, shoots, scores! On the right baseline, that's Joey Schneider, who's got 4 points in the game. Fort Morgan 19, Brush 17. Dunker, right baseline, double team. Bounce pass in a lane, goes through everybody except Joey Schneider, who intercepts for the Mustangs. Here comes Kemble the other way. The Mustangs can go up by 4 or 5. Outside right, Zwedzik, 3 in the air, is well off to the left. But Kemble chases down the rebound to Eric Kemble. Schneider shot is up and no good. And then Henry Weimer commits a foul underneath the basket going for the rebound. His second foul. The Mustangs are in trouble now. They got their 2 big men with 2 fouls apiece. With 5:38 to go in the second quarter. Plenty of basketball to go, and Fort Morgan leading Brush 19-17. Garcia the other way for the Bee Diggers. Against Zwedzik. On the outside right, here's Dunker, who dribbles back to his left. And a traveling violation on the Bee Diggers. That's already their 8th turnover of the game.
Well, and Fort Morgan switched their defense on that set. They went back to a man-to-man.
Brush only had 8 turnovers on Friday night in the entire game in the victory over Strasburg. With a basketball, Schneider back out to Eric Kemble near the timeline. Kemble dribbles to his left at the top, spinning back out to Zwedzik to his left. Zwedzik nearly stripped from behind by Garcia. Down low for Weimer in the lane, turns, hooks, and that is off the back of the rim. And Kyle Rosenbrock back into the game as his 3rd rebound. Here's the outlet to Baker. Baker right of the lane. Gets a defender in the air. Down low for Jeffrey Dunker. Lost the basketball, and it's picked up by Weimer. That's another Brush turnover. Here comes Eric Kemble. Long pass to Schneider. It's a 2-on-2. Right corner, Zwedzik. 3 in the air. Off the back of the rim. Randy Baker has the Bee Digger rebound. Baker with a 5-on-4. Right baseline to Rosenbrock. Cross court to Dunker. Puts it up, and he's fouled as he misses. And that might be Joey Schneider's second foul. That would be 3 players with 2 fouls apiece. And that foul is on Schneider. And right now, Fort Morgan is in a heap of trouble with 4:41 to go in the second quarter, and 3 players have 2 fouls apiece. And Dunker to shoot 2, and the free throw is up and in for Jeffrey Dunker. Here comes T.J. Bauer. If you're tired of the same old lunch and dinner menu, switch it up, pick up something new from the Hot and Cold Deli. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Great food at low prices. Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. And
I think we got a bloody nose.
Well, Weimer's going to have to come out, and Brian Almanza will check into the game for Fort Morgan. Schneider, Bauer, Eric Kemble, Tony Zwedzik, and Brian Almanza for the Mustangs. Second free throw is up, and that's off to the right. But Baker has the rebound and then had it stripped from behind. The ball's loose on the floor, and there's a foul on Dunker. I believe that would be the team's 7th foul. And again, that's a couple of fouls here by Brush in the backcourt. 10 turnovers for the Bee Diggers, 7 for the Mustangs. 1-and-1 situation for Eric Kimball, who's got the hot hand with 10 points. Yeah, that crowd for Brush on Friday night in Strasburg, yelling and screaming the whole time. It was intimidating. It felt like a home game. Not this type of home game, but maybe in another arena. The first free throw is good by Eric Kimball. He earns a second as the Mustangs lead by 2. He bends, he shoots, and that's well short. And Kyle Rosenbrock has his 4th rebound for the Bee Diggers. And now we've got a whistle. There might be blood on the floor in front of the Fort Morgan bench, which head coach Chad Unrein is pointing to. They'll have to clear that out. If that was indeed the case, well, apparently not. They just stopped playing. Here's Cranston to Dunker. Dunker met by Bauer on the outside left. Lobs it to Needham straight away. On the outside right to Baker. Baker guarded by Eric Kimball in the lane. And then was he tripped up? No, he just fell down and lost the ball out of bounds. And Brush has committed 6 turnovers in the first 3.5 minutes of the second quarter. They've got 11 in the game. They'll apply the pressure. Almanza with the basketball. Bounce pass to Swedzig. And then kicked at a bounce by Baker in the backcourt.
And it's just a 1-2-2 press, so you're looking to trap on the sides, and you're looking for somebody that's kind of playing center field to pick off some pass thrown in the center.
With the basketballs, Almanza over to Bauer. Bauer had the ball, and he threw it away. It's taken away by Cranston. Bounce pass is off of Mustang out of bounds. The Bee Diggers retain possession. Really not a well-played first half when you look at it. We've got 19 turnovers combined in the game, and we have played only 11 minutes and 49 seconds. Needhams on the outside left to Baker, left of the lane, left corner for Cranston. Kicks it back out to Baker. Baker left of the lane. He's double-teamed, leans, backs it out to Dunker. Straight away to Needhams. He'll take the 3, and that's in and out. Rosenbrock rebounds and misses, and he's fouled in midair on the putback, and he will go to the line. And lots of fouls as well. And this Fort Morgan foul was committed by Joey Schneider. He's going to have to come out of the game. That's his 3rd already. And Rosenbrock to the line. Yeah, I don't know how head coach Chad Unrein is going to keep him in. More than likely, Henry Weimer, who's got 2 fouls, is going to replace Schneider. And Tate Kimball about to come into the game. Rosenbrock's free throw is in. And the Brush deficit is down to 120-19.
Well, Kimball was the one that had the bloody nose, so hopefully that has subsided.
Second free throw coming up for the Bee Digger junior, Kyle Rosenbrock. We remind you can follow us on Twitter at B106 and at KSIR Sports, and on Facebook on our B106 page and on our 1010 KSIR Sports page. Second free throw is in. We have quarter-by-quarter updates, and the game is deadlocked at 20 with 3:58 to go before the break. Bunch of free throws taken by the Bee Diggers in this first half. Here comes Eric Kimball in the backcourt. Front court pass to Weimer in the right corner to Bauer. Fakes the 3, dribbles right of the lane. Back out to Swedzig to his left. Over to Bauer. Bauer with the basketball. Right side, Eric Kimball. 3 in the air is around and no good. And the ball is loose, and it's taken by Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock hands it off to Cranston. Front court pass to Needhams. On the outside left, fakes the 3. Straight away to Cranston. Cranston swings it down low for Nichols. Nichols had a defender in the air and banks and scores for Jacob Nichols. Brush now with a 22-20 lead. 3:24 to go in the opening half. In the backcourt, Kimball over to Tate Kimball. Spinning on Trey Cranston. Bounce pass Eric Kimball, and then he traveled. He was debating whether to dribble into the lane or pass it to Weimer, and shuffled his feet in the process. Turnover number 9 for the Mustangs. But they still have 3 fewer than the Bee Diggers. Actually, 2 fewer. The Bee Diggers have 11 in the game. Here comes Cranston for Brush, picked up by Swedzig. On the outside right to Baker. Baker with the basketball, dribbles into the lane all the way, scoops it up, and blocked by Weimer. What an excellent block by Weimer. Coming away with the basketball is Eric Kimball. Right in the lane, all the way, layup is up, and he missed, but a foul. And that might be Rosenbrock's second foul. It is. Strong move by Eric Kimball. He can tie the game with 2 made free throws with 2:59 to go before the break. For all your farm and ranch supplies, including Purina feeds and everything, Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. The free throw is no good. Purchase the best quality parts and accessories. Or check that. Stop by any of the Ace stores in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and their newest location, 122 Custer Street in Brush. That's Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. Second free throw, bingo. Brush 22, Fort Morgan 21. 2:55 to go, second quarter. Needens across the timeline for the Bead Diggers on the outside left of Brown. Brown against Bauer. Left of the lane for Cranston. Cranston looking, spinning, fading. Bounce pass to Nichols in the lane. Straight away, Needens, three in the air is no good. And a strong rebound by Henry Weimer. That's his fourth. Weimer looking for the outlet, finds Tate Kemble. The Mustang can reclaim the lead. Kemble into the front court on the outside right against Jake Brown. Back out to Zwedzik. On the high left for Bauer. Bauer against Needens. Looking to his right. Between his legs, Bauer maintains a dribble. Cross-court pass to Tate Kemble against Brown. Dribbling towards the right baseline. Tries to force up a shot. And Brown commits the foul on the floor. That'll be the 19th foul. Brown's second personal. And Tate Kemble will shoot the 1-and-1.
Well, and on the rotation for the Mustangs on their offensive set, they're actually just sending someone down low, cutting off the block, and then coming up to set a screen. So it's kind of a different way to run motion than what they did the last time.
We have three players on each side with at least 2 fouls in the game. And Tate Kemble will shoot the 1-and-1. This is KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. The free throw is up and good. The Mustangs have tied the game at 22. Second free throw for Tate Kemble. That one is up, and that one is around and good as well. Fort Morgan 23, Brush 22. 2:17 to go before the break. Needens with the basketball on the outside left. Bounce pass at the top for Brown. Brown looking down low, finds right side to Baker, right of the lane, in the lane, scoops it up, and it's partially blocked, taken by Cranston, though, as the Beat Diggers reset. Cranston into Nichols. Nichols right baseline. Baker shot up and short. Rebound to Nichols again. Hands it off to Cranston. Got a defender in the air. Scoops it up off the glass. And no good again. And it's taken away by Eric Kemble. Boy, some great fight over there by the Mustangs. On the outside right, Zwedzik straight away to Eric Kemble against Jake Brown. Hands it off to Zwedzik. Takes the three. That's going to be a little bit short. And there's a fight for the rebound. And that's going to stay with Fort Morgan. Henry Weimer got in there and tied up with a couple of Bead Diggers. He's extremely strong as the Mustangs retain possession with 1:38 to go before the break, leading by 1.
Well, the Brush crowd wanted an over the back on that, but you have to make contact first, and there was no box out and then no ball going.
Zwedzik to Kemble in midair, misses the shot. Jacob Nichols with his 5th rebound. Outlet to Needens. Here's Randy Baker on the right side, right of the lane. Gets a defender in the air, backs it out to Cranston. Down low to Nichols. Left corner Needens. Wide open three, and he airballed it. TJ Bauer has the basketball for Fort Morgan. Now to Zwedzik. It's a 3-on-3. Kemble, 3 in the air, no good. Needens has the rebound, then he's fouled by Bauer. And again, a silly foul. And Bauer knew it. 19th foul for the Mustangs. Bryce Needens, who has been missing badly on those threes tonight, is at the stripe. Let's see if the free throw line helps him out. Just a 1-and-1 as both teams have committed 9 fouls. We have 18 total here in the opening half, and the free throw is well short. Nichols with a rebound. Nichols to Brown. His shot left baseline is no good. And Eric Kemble has the rebound. The other way, here's Tate Kemble. Tries to force up a shot and doesn't, misses, and he's fouled. That was a brilliant move by Tate Kemble. And that foul was committed by Randy Baker. That's his first. Tate Kemble is 4 out of 4 from the line. Mustang boys looking for the season sweep after winning 56-47 in Fort Morgan on December the 20th. Tolo Walio getting ready to check into the game. The Tate Kemble free throws in the air, and that's perfect. He's now 5 out of 5, and the Mustangs lead by 3. 25-22, your one-stop center for home improvement projects, Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. Flooring, paint, tools, appliances, and more. Ackley Building Center, second free throw is in the air, and that's perfect as well. It's a 3-point lead for Fort Morgan, 25-22. Cranston the other way for the Bead Diggers at the top of the basketball. On the outside left to Needens. Needens dribbles to his right, gets a pick at the free throw line. Jump pass, right corner for Cranston. Dribbles to his left. He's cut off. Looking down low. The bounce pass towards Needens. Thrown away. Here's TJ Bauer the other way. Scoops it up, and he's fouled as he misses. And he will go to the line as the Bead Diggers commit their 7th turnover of the quarter. And Randy Baker with his 2nd foul. And Bauer to shoot 2, and the Mustangs are taking it to the Bead Diggers right now. with 46.9 seconds to go before halftime. Premier Farm Credit, still the lender of choice for America's farmers and ranchers, as the free throws a line drive, no good. They understand and are passionate about agriculture, dedicated to serving America as well in good times and bad. Premier Farm Credit, the gold standard in ag lending. Nichols and Cranston are out. Ben Mickey's into the game for the first time, along with Jeffrey Dunker. Second free throw for T.J. Bauer is in the air. That line drive is no good, and the ball is into the hands of Jeffrey Dunker. Dunker with a basketball across the timeline on the outside left, near the top. Bounce pass high right to Baker, right of the lane. Baker pulls up from 10, off the back of the rim. Rebound to Dunker, scoops it up and in off the glass. Dunker's very good down low. He's got 4 points. The B-Diggers to within one. 25-24, 25 seconds to go before halftime. Swedzik on the outside right to Tate Campbell against Dunker. Dribbles to his left. Cross court to Wallio. Wallio against Baker. Crossover dribble. Dribbles left of the lane. The ball stripped away, but taken by Swedzik. Left baseline. Swedzik bounce pass over to Tate Campbell. Right corner. Swedzik, three in the air. Air ball, and he was fouled on the three, I believe, or no. Let's see. No, the foul's against Fort Morgan. Henry Weimer, a push-off. That's going to be his third foul. 2 free throws on the other end. Let's see if Bryce Needens gains any confidence. He is well off. He's got to bend those knees a lot more to shoot here, because he's got no confidence whatsoever. His badly missed threes and short-armed a free throw moments ago. This free throw by Needens is in the air, and that's nowhere close. Well off the back of the rim, well off to the right. Ure Ocaña's into the game for Weimer. 2 Mustangs have 3 fouls in the game. 8.7 seconds to go before the break. Needens' free throw is up, and that is in, out, and in for Bryce Needens. Jacob Nichols checks in for Needens for defensive purposes. With 8.7 seconds to go, Wallio backcourt to Tate Campbell. Campbell met by Dunker across the timeline, nearly lost the basketball, stripped by Dunker, picks it up, throws up a wild shot, rebounded by Mickey, outlet to Brown from half court, and that's well off to the right. And that is the end of the opening half with the score. Fort Morgan 25, Brush 25. This is B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs 25, the B-Diggers 25 as we begin the third from Brush. Let's run down the starters here for the second half as soon as they break their respective huddles. Jeffrey Dunker, Jake Brown, Kyle Rosenbrock, Randy Baker, and Bryce Needens for Brush. The Mustangs with Tony Swedzik, Joey Schneider, who's got 3 fouls, Wes Anderson, Eric Kimball, and Tate Campbell. And the Brush B-Diggers will have the basketball to begin the third. Needens to throw it in. Let's see which team has that run. That's what happened in the first game in Fort Morgan. The Mustangs had that fourth quarter run, and a 1-point game became a 9-point victory for Fort Morgan. Dunker into the front court on the high left at the top of the bounce pass for Needens. Outside right, Rosenbrock down low, intended for Baker, knocked away but taken by Rosenbrock off the deflection. Baker right baseline all the way, scoops it up off the glass, too strong. Rebound to Dunker, banks, and he misses. And the rebound to Wes Anderson of Fort Morgan on the outlet to Tate Campbell. Left corner, Eric Kimball. Into the lane for Anderson, spins, and then tried to throw a pass as he spun and was fouled on the floor. B-Digger foul committed by Jake Brown. That'll be his third. Let's see if Ken Garcia goes to the bench here for a substitution. Swedzik to throw it in. Down low for Anderson. He hooks it up and in. Easy left-handed move for Wes Anderson. Mustangs 27, B-Diggers 25. 7:22 to go in the third. Needens left of the lane. Back out to Brown. Brown on the outside left for Needens. Left corner for Rosenbrock. Back out to Needens. Straight away for Dunker off his hands. The ball is loose, and it's chased down by Tate Campbell. Now here's Schneider. Over to Campbell just across the timeline. Outside right for Swedzik. In the right corner with the basketball is Eric Kimball. Now to Anderson on the left wing to Tate Campbell. Bounce pass down low for Schneider. Had the ball stripped away and taken away by Dunker. Long pass to Baker. Baker all the way. Scoops it up and in off the glass for Randy Baker, who's got 12. And the game is tied once again at 27. On the outside right, Kemble with the basketball. Back out to Zwedzik. Zwedzik against Baker. Bounce pass on the high right, taken by Eric Kemble. Fade, shoots, in and out. Kemble has the rebound. Kemble in the lane, stripped away by Dunker. Here comes Dunker with the basketball. He's got a 3-on-2 all the way. Dunker banks and scores. Say it, Dunker's got incredible hands. There's no question about it. The Beatniggers lead 29-27, 6:20 to go, third quarter. Outside left, Zwedzik takes a long three. Good for Tony Zwedzik. He finally nailed one. Those are his first points of the game. The Mustangs lead by 1. Outside right, Needens fakes the 3, steps in, 14-footer off the back of the rim, but he's fouled on the follow-through. And Bryce Needens to the line. Wes Anderson has committed his third. If you're Brush, you got to take it right to him because you've got 3 players with 3 fouls. Eric Kimball's only got 1, but you make him less effective if you get one of the other players in even deeper foul trouble.
Not to mention when you add that foul count on, the clock is going to stop and you're going to get free throws quite frequently.
Needens is so off on that free. He's got nothing on the ball. That was well off to the left and short. He's got no confidence right now. You can just see it on his face. That one is in and out. And the rebound is controlled there by Joey Schneider. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if Needens gets taken out of the game sometime shortly. He's just not on his game, not even close. On the outside left, Tate Kemble with a basketball. Dribbles to his right, gets a pick. At the top, Zwedzik fakes the 3 to his right. Bounce pass down low for Schneider on the right baseline. Left corner for Tate Kemble, spinning on Dunker. Inside, the ball is knocked away, intercepted by Brown. Turnover number 12 over there by Fort Morgan. Inside pass to Baker. He turns, he shoots, he misses. On the pass from Dunker, Wes Anderson has got his third rebound. 30-29 Fort Morgan. 5:33 to go in the third. Long 3, Zwedzik. Yes! Zwedzik hits another triple. And the Mustangs lead by 4 at 33-29. Rosenbrock from Dunker. Rosenbrock all the way, kicks it back out, and the ball is tipped away, chased down by Rosenbrock over to Dunker. Dunker against Kimball, right corner for Brown. Brown back out to Baker, right of the lane, all the way, scoops it up and in off the glass as Baker drove straight to the hoop. He's got 14. The Beatniggers trail by 2, 33-31. In the backcourt, Eric Kimball with 5:03 to go. Back out to Tate Kemble on the left wing. Bounce past to Zwedzik. He fakes a 3, steps, takes another 3, and that's off to the right. And the rebound and putback missed by Schneider, who's fouled. Schneider to the line. And Jeffrey Dunker commits his second foul. And to the line is Joey Schneider. The free throws off the back of the rim. Second free throw upcoming for Joey Schneider. He can make it a 3-point lead for the Mustangs with under 5 minutes to go. That one is around and no good. And Jacob Nichols has the rebound for the Beatniggers. And the outlet to Dunker, right corner for Garcia. Dribbles to his left, into the lane, back out to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock fakes a 3, dribbles to his right, gets a pick from Nichols, right of the lane, now on the right baseline. Back out to Garcia. He fakes a 3 into the lane. Garcia all the way gets a defender in the air and is fouled as he misses. Let's see who that foul's on. That is going to be on Joey Schneider. That's his 4th. Well, that's what I was talking about earlier, Jen. If Brush can just get Fort Morgan into deeper foul trouble, then the Beatniggers could have the advantage.
Well, and Brush did a good job of overloading one side. The other side of the lane was completely open for that drive.
And the Garcia free throw is off to the left. And the Beatniggers now from the line are 9 of 17. That's not going to get it done either. Weimer checks in for Schneider, who probably will sit until the fourth quarter. Anderson with 3 fouls is also out. Garcia can make it a 1-point game. The junior bends, shoots, connects. He's got 5. Fort Morgan 33, Brush 32. Backcourt pressure being applied. Zwedzik with a basketball over to Eric Kemble. Lob pass on the outside left to Tate Kemble. Left baseline, pulls up from 5 and blocked by Garcia. Taken away by Baker. Baker, middle of the lane, bounce pass to Dunker, ball knocked away. Intercepted over there by Eric Kemble. Here is Bauer the other way. He scoops it up and he missed an easy one. Rebound to Zwedzik. Fort Morgan resets, but then the ball is thrown away. It's loose on the floor, taken by Zwedzik, and now we got a whistle. And he made a 3, but Chad Unrein calls a timeout. Oh, boy, that could have been a 4-point game. Unrein calls a 30-second timeout before Zwedzik nailed the triple. The Beatniggers get a monumental break. 30-second timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen of State Farm Insurance, Home Auto Life and Health, 842-45-55. If not, you would have been looking at a 4-point game. Mustangs will have the basketball. But it was so helter-skelter out there, he probably felt the need to call a timeout. But you call a timeout with a 3-point shooter who's hot right now with a wide-open look, and it would have been 3 out of 4 in the quarter for him.
Well, and it was kind of strange, too, because I think both teams thought that something there, they heard the timeout called or something, so they kind of stopped. All of them stopped except for Schwetzig.
All right, so Schwetzig, along with Eric Kemble, Henry Weimer, Tate Kemble, the inbounds passer, T.J. Bauer. Bauer looking, still looking. Across the timeline to Eric Kemble. Then he dribbles into 2 players, and he double dribbled. Turnover number 13 for Fort Morgan. The Beat Diggers have 14 with 4:02 to go in the third. Fort Morgan 33, Brush 32. Dunker bounces the ball into Garcia. Garcia against Schwetzig, dribbles to his right. On the high right to Dunker, to his left. Bounce pass to the top for Nichols, into the lane. He fades, shoots, misses, short. Rebound to Henry Weimer, that's his 5th. Weimer looks for the outlet, finds Schwetzig, who gets it over to Tate Kemble. Kemble nearly stripped by Dunker across the timeline, dribbles by Dunker into the lane, scoops it up and in off the glass, and a Beat Digger foul. Kemble to the line. A tremendous move by Kemble. Foul is on Jacob Nichols, that's his 1st. Tate Kemble now with 8, and he's 5 out of 5 from the line, and now Fort Morgan can claim that 4-point lead they would have had the Schwetzig 3 counted. The Kemble free throw is in the air, and that is good. The Mustangs with a 36-32 lead, 3:35 to go in the third. Dunker bounce pass inside, intended for Nichols, taken away by Bauer, restolen by Dunker, and we get a foul down low against Fort Morgan. Eric Kemble commits his 2nd. That's 3 team fouls for each side. Fort Morgan is in critical foul trouble here with Schneider with 4, Anderson and Weimer with 3. Left corner, Dunker penetrates left baseline. His scoop is no good, but Rosenbrock in midair puts it up and in. Off the glass for Rosenbrock. He's got 4 points to go along with 7 rebounds, 36-34. On the outside left, Tate Kemble with the basketball. Left of the lane, right corner. Bauer wide open. 3 is around and no good. And the ball is tipped into the hands of Jeffrey Dunker. Here comes Dunker with the basketball for the Beat Diggers. Now to Baker, middle of the lane, scoops it up, and in the foul! Baker went glass and scored, and we're tied at 36 with 3:04 to go in the third. T.J. Bauer commits his 2nd. Randy Baker is saving Brush with a 20 points on Friday night. He's got 16, including 10 in the first quarter, now 6 here in the third, and that's why he's getting major playing time right now. He's Brush's offense, for the most part, nearly half of the offense. Free throw by Baker is around and good. And Baker is 4 out of 4 from the line. He's got 17. 37-36 Brush on the right baseline. Eric Kemble spins, double team, back out 3. Tate Kemble in the air, good! Tate Kemble nails the triple. He's got 6 in the quarter, 12 in the game. Fort Morgan 39, Brush 37. 2:47 to go in the third. Garcia at the top of the basketball between his legs. Bumped into Wallio, no whistle, straight away to Rosenbrock. Against Henry Weimer. Rosenbrock surveys the defense, dribbles right into the lane, has defenders in the air. Banks misses, fouled. Wallio goes down hard, but the foul was on Henry Weimer, and that's his 4th.
Wallio was hit by his teammate.
Well, Brush offensively is doing exactly what they should do. You got to get Fort Morgan to commit fouls, and the Mustangs are spreading the floor on offense, and the free throws around and good. Yeah, because Fort Morgan's got to be even careful on offense that they don't commit an offensive foul when you're in foul trouble. They've got to be more tentative. That's why they're taking all these threes. 2nd free throw, and the game is tied as Rosenbrock drills a 2nd. He's got 6 points in the game. Brush 39, Fort Morgan 39. 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Eric Kemble across the timeline. Here comes Dunker from behind. Jump pass straight away to Anderson. Outside right, Kemble. Right corner, Wallio. He takes the shot. Good. Inside the three-point line, Tolo Wallio scores. 41-39 Fort Morgan. 2:15 to go, third quarter. The other way is Garcia with the basketball against Swedzik. Long three is off the back of the rim, and Wes Anderson has his 4th rebound. Long outlet to Kimball with 1 to beat. Kimball all the way scoops it up, and he misses. Offensive foul as he slammed right into Austin Garcia.
What was different that time than the other blocking call that Garcia received earlier was he was set. He took it square to the chest, and there was no movement.
Yeah, Garcia had to do that. If not, it would have been possibly a couple of free throws. We've got 2 minutes to go in the third. Fort Morgan 41, Brush 39. Dunker the other way with the basketball on the outside left to Garcia. Gets a pick, dribbles into the lane. Left baseline for Nichols. Nichols straight away for Cranston. Fakes the 3 on the outside right to Rosenbrock. Right baseline for Nichols. Back out to Rosenbrock. Down low for Cranston. Double team. Looking, spinning. Right corner Nichols. Dribbles right baseline. Nichols with the basketball. Is going to have to bounce it back out to Cranston. Cranston to his right. Double team. Now spinning on a defender. Back out to Nichols. Nichols into the lane. Finds Dunker. Left baseline. Dunker back out to Nichols. 10-footer in the air. Is around and no good. And Eric Kimball has the rebound for Fort Morgan. Here come the Mustangs the other way. Walio with the basketball, fouled by Dunker. That's going to be 14 fouls against the Beat Diggers, and Dunker with his 3rd personal with 1:23 to go, 3rd quarter. And the Mustangs leading by 2, 41-39, and Swedzik to throw it in. Swedzik in the backcourt to Tate Kimball. Kimball gets a pick, dribbles on the outside right against Nichols. Lost the basketball, loose on the floor, and we've got a tie-up. Is that a tie-up over there? Let's see. We're shielded. Yeah, it's a tie-up. It'll stay with the Mustangs with 1:14 to go in the third. Joey Schneider's back into the game, and he's got 4 fouls, as does Henry Weimer, who's on the bench right now. Swedzik to throw it in. Swedzik has not committed a foul. He can play more aggressively. In the right corner for Schneider. Back out to Tate Kimball. Kimball looking straight away. Anderson, left corner for Eric Kimball. Dribbles to his right. Jump pass is going to be off of Rosenbrock. Intercepted by Cranston. Cranston with the basketball in the lane. His little runner's up and around and good. Oh, some beautiful movement there by Trey Cranston. His first points of the game. Deadlocked at 41. 51 seconds to go in the third. Anderson outside left. And Anderson was fouled. That'll be the 15th foul against Brush. Very physical game so far. I think Jacob Nichols with his 2nd. And Ben Mickey is checking in for the Beat Diggers. 30-second timeout called by the Mustangs with 48.8 seconds to go. We are deadlocked at 41. And neither team has had a big lead whatsoever. It seems that when Brush has a mini run, Fort Morgan comes back, and the Mustangs have threatened a couple of times to take a 6 to 7 point lead. They've been up by 4 on a couple of occasions, and the Beat Diggers have come right back. The big difference here in the third quarter is that both teams are scoring in different ways. The Beat Diggers down low and the Mustangs from the outside for the most part.
Yeah, but I also think that both teams are very consistent with their defensive strategies. I think they're both getting hands, touches on the ball, on the they're getting in the passing lanes. They're both doing that 50-50 ball. I mean, they're both getting after it on the floor. So it's anybody's ball game right now.
It's not an easy game to officiate, and there's a lot of contact there. To throw it in, 3/4 court, is going to be Tate Kimball. Over to Eric Kimball just across the timeline outside. Tate Kimball in the lane, scoops it up, and he misses, but he's fouled. Jacob Nichols has committed his 3rd foul in about just over a minute, it seems. Tate Kimball to the line, and he's been perfect so far. Kimball has 6 points in the quarter. He's 7 out of 7 from the line. And that one is well short. He barely got to the rim. Well, at this point in the game, even though it's only the third, when you have players in foul trouble, guys like Tate Kimball have to get more playing time. His legs, I'm sure, are a little bit tired. Second free throw coming up for Tate Kimball. That's in the air, and that one is good. Mustangs by 1, 42-41. 42 seconds to go in the third. Dunker against Walio, crossover dribble on the outside right. Cranston fakes the 3, dribbles to his left, spinning at the free throw line, in the lane. His runner's up and around and good. Trey Cranston's nailed that shot twice in this quarter. Brush 43, Fort Morgan 42, 25 seconds to go in the third. Walio straight away for Anderson, outside left Swedzik. He won't take that parking lot three. Straight away for Kemble. On the outside right to Wallio. Wallio with 16 seconds to go. Dribbles to his left. At the top for Schneider. Outside left for Swedzik. Swedzik with 11 to go. Hands it off to Tate Kemble. Kemble with 8 seconds to go and over and back. He just didn't see where he was on the court. That is 8 turnovers in the quarter for Fort Morgan. 17 in the game.
Well, and Brush did a little switcheroo on that one. Instead of staying in man-to-man, they went to a 2-3 zone, kind of confused Mustangs a little bit, I think.
Cranston to Dunker. Dunker with 5 seconds to go. Now with 4, just across the timeline with 3. Takes a long 3, and that's off the back of the rim. Nichols put back. Check that. Mickey's put back, no good. And that is the end of the third quarter. With the score, Brush 43, Fort Morgan 42 on B106 and B106.com. The Bee Diggers have the basketball to begin the fourth. John Beltran with Jen Goodall. Brush 43, Fort Morgan 42. In Brush in the first of 2 games. Dunker with a basketball on the outside left for Baker. Baker dribbles to his right in the lane. Fading, shooting, scoring! Swish for Randy Baker from 13 feet away. Baker with 19 in the game. 45-42 Brush. On the outside right, Anderson. In the right corner, Eric Kemble penetrates right baseline, puts it up, and he misses off the glass. Dunker with a rebound. Here is the long pass to Baker all the way, scoops it up, and it's blocked out of bounds. Joey Schneider said to get that counterfeit out of the bank. He swatted that off the wall. The Bee Diggers retain possession. And to throw it in will be Bryce Needens. Baker's made that move many times tonight for a bucket, but not that time. Schneider was disciplined. Down low, off the pass, Rosenbrock, right corner for Needens. Down low for Rosenbrock, tips it out to Dunker after the ball was nearly knocked away. 45-42 Brush, 7:22 to go in the game. Baker on the outside left, dribbles to his right. Against Kemble, cross-court pass for Dunker. Dunker, jump pass to Baker. Baker right of the lane, gets a defender in the air, back out to Brown. Cross-court to Dunker. Dunker retreats towards the timeline. Now to Baker, the Bee Diggers being very patient with this possession. Rosenbrock straight away, picked up by Anderson. Out there was Wedzig, Schneider, Tate Kemble, Eric Kemble. Dunker in the lane, double team, jump pass, cross court to Baker. Baker in the lane, spinning. He's going to have to back it out unless he puts the shot up, and he does in a bounce over there to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock in the left corner, dribbling to his right. 6:45 to go. Rosenbrock at the top for Brown. Brown to his right, finds Needens. He'll take the 3. Good! That's a huge triple for Bryce Needens, who is really slumping in this game. And the Bee Diggers now have their biggest lead of the game, 48-42. Then Dunker takes it away from Tate Kemble, and then he traveled. Teams exchange turnovers there. The Bee Diggers with 16, and Fort Morgan, after that one, has 18. It'll be Mustang basketball. Schneider to throw it in. Schneider out there with Tate and Eric Kemble and Tony Swedzik and Wes Anderson in the backcourt. The pass into Tate Kemble. Kemble against Dunker with 6:25 to go on the outside left for Eric Kemble. Guarded by Needens. Gets a pick, dribbles to his right. Jump pass down low, and Schneider banks and scores. Beautiful pass from Eric Kemble. Schneider now with 6. The Mustangs to within 4. 48-44. 6:10 to go in the game. Dunker with a basketball on the outside left to Needens. Dribbles left baseline. Jump pass over to Baker. Baker in the lane. Scoops it up and in. Randy Baker on the hook is having a huge second half. He's got 21 in the game. 5:55 to go. Brush 50, Fort Morgan 44. On the outside left, Tate Kemble all the way, scoops it up, and he misses off the glass, but a foul. Tate Kemble to shoot a deuce. And the foul was committed by Randy Baker. That's his third. Tate Kemble can make this a 4-point game with 2 made free throws. Jen, the energy is certainly picking up on both sides. As the free throw by Kemble is up and good. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night. When they do, every second counts. As a Level 3 trauma center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any type of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center, where expertise matters. Second free throw is short. Kyle Rosenbrock grabs his 8th rebound of the night. On the outlet to Dunker. Dunker's double team in the backcourt. Bounce or jump pass to Baker. 3-on-2. Baker all the way. Layup up and in. Off the glass. The Bee Diggers beat the press easily. Baker now at 23. Brush leads by 7. 5:35 to go in the game. Swedzik straight away 3. Good! Holy Mahunga, Swedzik with another triple. Thanks to within 4. 52-48. 5:25 to go. Dunker crossing the timeline. Right baseline, Rosenbrock. Outside right, Needens 3. In and out and in. Needens hits another triple. Timeout, Brush. The Beet Diggers will take a 30-second timeout. Brought to you by Greg Mullen, State Farm Insurance, Home Auto, Life, and Health. 842-4555. Still plenty of time to go. But that three hit by Needens is a backbreaker for Fort Morgan, considering the Mustangs had just answered Brush's run with a Tony Zwedzik three, and Bryce Needens all of a sudden has found a shooting touch for the Beet Diggers here in the fourth.
Well, and I think, too, this is almost an opposite effect that we had in Fort Morgan.
Right, where the Mustangs took control in the fourth quarter, and now the Beet Diggers are attempting to do the same thing. But the Beet Diggers will need the Mustangs to miss a couple of more shots here and there, because the Mustangs have yet to get too far behind, although right now it's as big a deficit as we've seen all game, a 3-possession lead for Brush.
And one other advantage that Brush has over Fort Morgan is the fact that Fort Morgan has more foul trouble.
Here comes Tate Kemble with a basketball for the Mustangs, met by Randy Baker at midcourt. Crossing midcourt on the outside right is Eric Kimball. Now to Tate Kemble, right baseline all the way, scoops it up, and he misses, and the ball is out of bounds. It's off of Anderson. No, they're going to say it's off of Brush, even though Anderson tried to chase it down. That looked like it was halfway in there for Tate Kemble's Zwedzik to throw it in. With 5:06 to go in the game, Brush 55, Fort Morgan 48. Zwedzik looking, still looking, lobs it towards Tate Kemble, intercepted by Baker. Baker with one to beat, scoops it up, and he misses, but he's fouled. And the Fort Morgan turnovers are hurting them right now, and that foul was committed by Joey Schneider, and he has fouled out. Or check that. No, they're going to say his fourth. Okay, I had him for his fifth. Now that's his fourth, which means I probably gave him a foul that was committed by somebody else. Nonetheless, Randy Baker to shoot two. The Baker free throw is good. Makes a big difference from a shooting standpoint, being on your home court. That's why basketball is a big home court advantage when you take advantage of it. Second free throw is in. And Baker's been on fire the last two games. Baker's got 8 points in this quarter. He's got 15 in the half, 25 of the game. And with just over 5 minutes to go, Brush has opened up a 9-point lead at 57-48. Beet Diggers pressure. Austin Garcia into the game now for the Beet Diggers. Here's Tate Kemble into the front court on the outside right. It's Eric Kimball, right baseline. Scoops it over to Schneider, back out. Here is Tate Kemble in the lane for Anderson. Ball is tipped away. It's loose, and it's intercepted by Garcia. Cross-court pass to Dunker. Dunker's going to back it out. Beet Diggers don't need to shoot the ball anytime soon. They can take some time off the clock with a 9-point advantage and 4:35 to go in the game. Baker dribbles into the lane all the way, scoops it up wildly and misses, goes sliding to the floor as he is fouled. And Randy Baker to the line, and Brush's penetration tonight, especially in the second half, has been outstanding as Tony Zwedzik commits his first foul, and Randy Baker can make this a 4-possession game.
Well, and one thing I've noticed with Fort Morgan is they're not doing as good a job as they were in the first half of pinching off the drive. Randy Baker is a true slasher. He loves to slash through the lane and throw up shots and draw fouls, and he's very, very good at body control.
The Baker free throw is off to the left. His first missed free throw of the night. Second one is up, and that's good. Baker from the line is 7 out of 8. It's a 10-point lead, 58-48. Kemble right of the lane with a basketball. Looking for Anderson down low, gets it back out to Zwedzik. Zwedzik against Dunker, nearly stripped away, picks it back up. And then Zwedzik threw his elbows into Dunker, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Zwedzik. Jeffrey Dunker has a knack of doing that against opposing teams. And for the Mustangs, they've committed 21 turnovers. Zwedzik is out. Tola Walio is in. This was a 43-42 Brush lead. After 3, it's now a 15-6 Brush fourth quarter. Left baseline, Needens all the way, scoops it up, and he missed it. And the rebound controlled by Wes Anderson, his fifth board. On the outlet to Tate Kemble. Kemble into the front court. On the outside right, Walio fakes that shot, dribbles to his left, back out to Kemble. Here's Wes Anderson. Left corner, Eric Kemble against Needens. Lost the basketball, loose in the floor, and what do we have here? The ball was on the baseline, dribbled out of bounds by Eric Kemble as the Mustangs turn it over again. That is their 22nd turnover. Brush basketball with 3:57 to go, and the Beet Diggers right now are holding a 10-point lead, and the Mustangs call a full timeout. We'll take it with them. 3:57 to go in the game from Brush. The Beet Digger boys leading the Mustangs 58-48 on B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back with Jen Goodall, 58-48. Brush leading Fort Morgan. B-Digger basketball with 3:57 to go in the game. We'll have the girls' game coming up at approximately 7:15. Garcia to throw it in. In the backcourt, pressured over there. In the backcourt to Dunker. Mustangs applying the press. Dunker double team. Baseball pass to Garcia. He's got a 2-on-1. Garcia right of the lane's going to have to back it out. Smart play over to Cranston. B-Diggers will take the air to the basketball. Cranston picks up his dribble. Over to Garcia, right of the lane. He scoops it up and he misses. And the putback is up and in by Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock scores as the bodies go flying. B-Diggers with a steal. Dunker puts it up and misses, and he's fouled. And right now the Mustangs are falling apart. Wes Anderson with his 4th foul. And Dunker to shoot 2. With 3:35 to go in the game, the B-Diggers up by 12. Free throw by Dunker is up and good. I'd have to look and see where this run is at, but it was, we know in the 4th, it's a substantial run. It was 52-48 when Zwedzig hit that three-pointer, so it's a 9-0 run for Brush, and it's a 10-0 run for the B-Diggers. That's the question. Who is going to get the run? 10-0 for Brush. Now they're up by 14 with 3.5 to go. Tate Kemble with the basketball. On the outside right for Wallio. Down low for Schneider. Back out to Wallio on the right baseline. Over to Schneider in the right corner. Kicks it back out to Eric Kemble. Right of the free throw line. Kemble over to Wallio. In the left corner, Tate Kemble fakes the three. Defender in the air. Spins back out to Wallio. Wallio straight away. 3 is up and off to the right. And the ball is rebounded by Kyle Rosenbrock. Tries to save it in. And it's off of Schneider out of bounds. It should go to the B-Diggers. And, yep, it does. It's off of Schneider, and Rosenbrock with his 9th rebound. Garcia to throw it in off backcourt pressure. Over to Cranston. Cranston with 3:03 to go. 10 fouls committed by Fort Morgan, 7 by Brush. Dunker front court for Cranston. Cranston spinning, picked up by Wallio. Cranston hands it off to Needens. Needens cross court for Dunker. Dunker behind the three-point line. Dribbles towards the timeline with 2:47 to go. Over to Cranston. Cross court for Rosenbrock. Picked up by Weimer. Rosenbrock looking. Dribbles towards the timeline. To his left. Dribbles into the lane. Bounce pass to Garcia. And he had the ball stripped away, and it went off of Cranston. Excellent defensive play by Schneider. And here come the Mustangs the other way. Schneider with the basketball as the Mustangs are down by 14. Still a decent amount of time, 2.5 to go, but they've got to score on every possession now, just an inch closer. Eric Kemble, 3 in the air, and that's off to the left. Henry Weimer with a rebound. Weimer then throws it away over to Austin Garcia. That's the story for the Mustangs. Way too many turnovers in this game. They have committed 24. Rosenbrock left of the lane, spinning on the defender, bounce pass to Needens, fade, shoots, misses, and the strong side rebound by Eric Kemble. That's his 7th. Kemble with 2 minutes to go. At the top, down low for Schneider, bounce pass to Wallio underneath the basket, scoops it up and in for Tola Wallio. Timeout for Fort Morgan with 1:56 to go. 62-50 in favor of the B-Diggers. We'll keep it right here, brought to you by Greg Mullen, State Farm Insurance, Home Auto Life and Health, 842-4555. And now, even though it's a 12-point game, with 1:56 remaining, you can see the foul fest beginning at this point because it's not insurmountable at this point. If we're inside a minute and it's 12 points, then maybe it's too much. But with 1:56 to go, you take a chance on a steal. If you don't get it, you send the B-Diggers to the line, even though it's a double bonus from here on out.
Well, and with that, what they're hoping to do is stop the clock, hope they miss, and then go get some more points.
That's it.
If you don't get the steal right away, then time is still moving.
That's
so
their only recourse.
Yep.
As the B-Diggers have had a huge fourth quarter with 19 points.
Well, and you can see the Mustangs' frustration, the way their body posture is right now, and then hanging their heads, kind of walking around. They're frustrated.
Well, I still say the big shot of this quarter so far was the Bryce Needens 3 after the Tony Zwedzig 3. It went from 7 to 4, back to 7, and then Randy Baker's taken over in this entire half as he has scored 15 of his 25 points after the break. It'll be Garcia, Mickey, Baker, Cranston, and Needens for Brush. Tate Kemble, Eric Kemble, Wes Anderson, Tola Wallio, and Joey Schneider for Fort Morgan. B-Digger basketball. Garcia to throw it in. in the backcourt for Needens, guarded by Kimball. Spins out of that one. Needens into the front court. Needens, his pass is thrown away into the hands of Wes Anderson. The Mustangs can make this a 9-point game with a 3. Tate Campbell into the lane, scoops it up, air ball. Wallio picks it up, he banks and scores. Wallio's got 6 in the game. It's a 10-point game, 62-52. Cranston into the front court along the baseline. Cranston left baseline, back out to Baker, over to Garcia. 1:29 to go. Garcia's fouled by Eric Kimball. That's going to be his 3rd. And Austin Garcia to shoot 2. Either way, even if he misses both, it's still a 4-possession game. Garcia's only 2 out of 4 from the line. And check that. Oh, they're going to say it's on Anderson, not on Kimball. Schneider, excuse me. Schneider fouls out. Let's see who they send into the game. Well, unless they had the wrong guy.
Oh, now they've changed it.
Yeah, okay, so I was right, and they were wrong. All right, Garcia's free throw is in the air, and that's in and out. Second free throw upcoming. Well, you got to get, I would think, Zwedzig back into the game. He's their best three-point shooter. He's got 3 on the night, but he's still on the bench. Second free throw for Garcia is up, and that's good. 11-point lead for the Bee Diggers, 63-52, 1:24 to go. Tate Campbell straight away, gets a pick, right of the lane, bounce pass back out to Wallio. Wallio maintains the dribble, leans, right corner for Schneider. Down low pass, tipped away, taken by Wallio, scoops it up short, and the ball taken by Wallio. He misses that shot. Wallio again, then lost it. Cranston on the floor with the basketball, and was he fouled by Wallio? He was. Now, Wallio had 3 chances before Cranston ripped it away, and with 1:08 to go, Trey Cranston to shoot 2 free throws for the Bee Diggers, holding an 11-point lead. So here comes Cranston to the line. And a load of free throws. This game approaching the hour-and-a-half mark, which is a little bit longer than the normal high school basketball game. Free throw by Cranston is perfect. He's got a very nice, soft, careful touch. Not a very quick delivery, but a very deliberate one for Cranston, but it works for him very well. It's a very paced and rhythmic delivery. Second free throw's in the air, and that one's perfect. Bee Diggers now lead by a baker's dozen, 65-52, 1:05 to go. Anderson across the timeline. Looking. Cross-court pass to Wallio, left of the lane. Wallio bumps into Cranston, fades, shoots, misses. Rebound Eric Kimball, and then he misses that shot, and Bryce Needens has the rebound for the Bee Diggers, stolen by Kimball, scoops it up left-handed. He misses. Anderson then tries to go up with it, and we got a tie-up on the floor. That should be Mustang basketball as the possession arrow is pointing in their direction with 49.4 seconds to go. Well, that's lots of missed opportunities there for the Mustangs. Here come Pablo Gutierrez and Jake Brown into the game. Randy Baker with 25 points is out. Wallio to throw it in. Wallio still looking, feeds Kemble underneath the basket. He's trapped, and then Dunker fouled him. That's going to be 2 free throws as he tried to go for the shot. Dunker commits his 4th. Eric Kemble with 2 free throws. Still 47.2 to go, so the Mustangs, I think, will still foul. Free throws up and around and off to the left. That hit every part of the rim and did not go in. You can get quality ice at AC Ice. At any local or local grocery or convenience store near you, ACI. Second free throw is good. Dunker backcourt to Cranston. Cranston is double teamed, dribbles out of traffic. Cranston across the timeline, strip from behind out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bee Diggers with 41.5 seconds to go. That's AC Ice. Backcourt pass to Dunker. Dunker against Kimball, fouled by Kimball with 37.4 seconds to go. Should be the 4th on Eric Kimball. Dunker to the line. This will be Fort Morgan's 3rd consecutive loss. They were 10-2. They'll fall to 10-5 as the Dunker free throw is up and short and off to the right. Yep, they're going to clear the bench. Chad Unrein will clear the bench to give his other players a chance here at some playing time. Nate Gertner's into the game. Ray Ocañas. Bladen Pollitt, Brian Almanza, along with Tola Walio, who's been in the game. The Dunker free throw is up. That barely got to the rim. The rebound to Pollitt. Long pass to Walio. 33 seconds to go. Walio all the way, scoops it up, misses, and the ball is loose. It's out of bounds off of Mickey with 30 seconds remaining. And Dunker's out of the game, and so is Cranston. Here come Nico Guzman and Grayson Simmons. Brush calls a timeout. We'll keep it right here with only 30 seconds to go, just past the top of the hour. I'm John Beltran with Jen Goodall. This is KPRB B106. KPRB Brush Fort Morgan, Morgan County's B106. Second game is coming up. Brush leading Fort Morgan 65-53. Long game, lots of fouls. But the B-Diggers are going to come away with a victory. Two teams now going in opposite directions. Brush will win their third in a row, and Fort Morgan will lose their third in a row. And we'll document this after the game, but way too many turnovers in the second half for Fort Morgan. Only 9 in the first half, but well into the double digits in the second half. There's the inbounds pass to Pollitt, back out to Almanza. Almanza left of the lane, jump pass down low. In the lane here is a shot missed over there, and Jacob Nichols grabs the rebound. It was missed over there by Pollitt. Into the front court is Nico Guzman, and he double dribbled. 18 turnovers for Brush with 14.7 seconds to go. Here comes Almanza for Fort Morgan against Guzman, right of the lane. On the outside right, Walio steps in, lost the basketball. It's taken by Ben Mickey. That's appropriate. The game should end on a turnover as the B-Diggers will win the game tonight over the Fort Morgan Mustangs. 65-53. Brush 65, Fort Morgan 53. It's a 3-minute break on B106 and B106.com. John Beltran back with Jen Goodall. Welcome to the B-Digger Mustang post-game show. It's brought to you by Buildings by Design. Knowing who you can trust to do a good job is the tough part nowadays. But when you hire Buildings by Design, you can trust you get the building you want, when you want it, and at the quality you deserve. Start your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. The B-Diggers led 16-14 after one. It was tied at 25 at the break. 43-42 Brush after three. Then they went on a 10-0 run. It broke the game wide open as the B-Diggers outscore the Mustangs 22-11 in the fourth and win the game 65-53. And the big man for Brush tonight was Randy Baker. He had 26 points, but let's go through the visiting totals. 14 points for Tate Kimball, 13 for Eric Kimball. Tony Swedzik had 9, 6 apiece for Tola Walio and Joey Schneider. 5 points for Wes Anderson. Now besides Baker's 26, 8 apiece for Kyle Rosenbrock and Jeffrey Dunker, 7 for Bryce Needens. 6 apiece for Austin Garcia and Trey Cranston. Jacob Nichols with 4. The B-Diggers in the game had 36 rebounds, 9 of those from Rosenbrock, 32 for Fort Morgan, 8 of those for Kimball. And the turnovers were the killer. At halftime, Brush had 12 turnovers, and Fort Morgan had 9. At the end of the game, Fort Morgan had 25 turnovers, and the B-Diggers had 18. At the free throw line, the Mustangs 13 of 22, 59%. The B-Diggers 21 of 33, 63%. But once again, Jen, Randy Baker, the big difference maker, was 16 of his 26 points in the second half.
Well, and watching Randy go through the motions, I mean, you just saw him once he made his first couple. You know, he likes to do the slashing and the floater thing. So after he got a couple of those to fall, his confidence level went up, and he just had that look of determination like what happened in Fort Morgan the last time was not going to happen here in Brush.
It certainly didn't, as the B-Diggers moved to 7-4 on the year. They've won 3 consecutive games, and the Mustangs have lost 3 in a row. They're 10-5. And they're back in action coming up on Friday right here on B106 and B106.com against Vista Peak, while the B-Diggers on Friday will be on 1010 as well as KSIR.com in Gilcrest against the Valley Vikings. That will be a 7 o'clock start. So the B-Diggers and Mustangs on the boys' side split the season series in a very entertaining game, a game which saw 55 free throws combined, 33 by the B-Diggers. And although you like to get some practice at the line, especially later on in the season when you see some close games, again, those 55 free throws could be indicative of a very physical game and at times a little bit of a sloppy contest.
Yeah, and when you get two teams that know each other in every sport, because we play each other in every sport, it becomes that huge rival, and you get that look of determination on both teams, and one team is going to be the victor, obviously, but it's who's going to overcome the frustration better and who's going to make the least amount of mistakes.
Well, and that's what happened is that Fort Morgan had a few too many touch fouls there in the second half, and the Bee Diggers were in that double bonus situation with a few minutes to go in the game while Brush had committed 7 fouls of their own, but they had a foul or two to give, or a couple of fouls to give before they put Fort Morgan in the double bonus situation. But at that point, it doesn't matter because by that time in the game, the Bee Diggers had built a double-digit lead, and once again, win this game in Brush in the first of two, 65-53. We will take a 3-minute break, and when we come back in 3 minutes, we will have the start of the girls' game between the Bee Diggers and Mustangs from Brush right here on B106 and B106.com.